and welcome back to
Not Another Neighbours podcast.
with me, Liz.
And me, Fiona.
Hey, we're back. Now, we would have been back a couple of weeks ago, but I am an idiot. That is official.
It is, I can confirm it.
And managed to delete our last podcast somehow.
It's okay. We've been busy.
Yeah, we have. So this is an extra big double dose of Not aNUDder Neighbours podcast for you. So should we get cracking?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we've got a lot to discuss. Some of this happened quite a long time ago, but we'll start with more recent and work backwards in some ways, shall we?
Perfect, let's do it.
Okay, so let's talk first about Aaron.
Yes.
Hepatitis B, or Hep B.
Hep B, but he's not sure if he's got it yet. He's
No.
just jumping to all the crazy conclusions
Yes.
without actually getting proof or anything about it.
Yeah, just get
first.
tested, mate, and
Yes.
deal with it. I mean, I know it must be worrying, but he said they were careful, so surely he's less likely to have it than have it.
Exactly. I think he should just chill out.
Yes.
Wait until he gets the test.
This can't be the first time he's gone through this, surely.
Well, you don't know that, Liz.
Okay, and also we have to refer to the fact, of course, that he is still a bit like, oh, should I get in touch with Logan again? And he's still not. He's having a bad time of it.
Yeah, I think he needs some supportive people in his life.
I always love on soap operas how when a character has been in a big relationship that the audience really care about, that if that relationship ends, usually through a death, because let's face it, it's soap operas, that they can't just have them then go into another serious relationship we care about. We always have to have almost like a palate cleanser relationship. I think Logan is the palate cleanser here.
Definitely.
So it means that whoever Aaron next meets will be the one that we care about and he can have a proper relationship with.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, we'd like some happiness for Aaron again.
Yes, please.
So Wendy. Let's talk about Wild Wendy, or not Wild Wendy anymore.
Oh, Wild Wendy. She needs to come back. We loved Wild Wendy.
Right. So we've seen Wendy drunk. Of all the Neighbours characters drunk, have you got a favourite?
I quite liked it when Mark Brennan
Yes,
got
that's
drunk.
exactly who I was going to say. I love drunk Mark Brennan. He was brilliant. I think it's because he was so straight normally that when he was drunk, he was just adorable.
He was just great. And Jane's always quite good when she gets
Yes.
drunk.
I do worry sometimes whether she's got a bit of a drinking habit, because she does turn to the bottle a lot when she's stressed out.
She's had a lot going on.
She has, bless her. I think it's quite a normal reaction she has, maybe, to drink the odd dram of, wine in her case, I think, rather than whiskey.
Yeah, I think I know quite a few people in real life who do that.
What?
And that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Don't overdrink, kids.
Don't drink and drive either.
Yes. But, of course, Wendy, going back to Wendy, she's got this thing about the discrimination.
Yeah, it's not cool. Some lady called Heidi on her course
Boo, Heidi.
decided to make a derogatory remark because she had
She'd scored the mentorship.
That's the one.
And she was jealous.
Yeah, and instead of just saying, "Oh, isn't it great?"
Through gritted teeth.
she then said a very mean remark.
Yeah. And I'm really enjoying how they're dealing with this, actually, because we've heard Andrew's response, which was to kind of, just ignore it. And we heard Cara's response, which was, you should report this. And then I like the fact that Wendy's then gone to her friend, who is also a person of colour, and said, look, you actually get this. Those white folk don't.
Yes, yeah. I'm glad she's seeking counsel from other people who might have had this thrown at them before.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be interested to see where this storyline actually lands. Whether it's going to go on. I think Neighbours, because it had a bit of an issue, shall we say, a couple of years ago.
It's quite a big issue.
I mean, compared to a lot of Aussie soaps, you have to say they have been at the forefront of making sure that they did have characters from like Aboriginal backgrounds and things. But
the limbs. Don't forget the limbs.
The limbs?
So the limbs were...
Oh, this isn't the Korean family from back when, is it? No.
I think they were Chinese.
Oh, Chinese, sorry. My
Chinese
apologies.
family from way back when.
Yes.
When Lou planted the seed into Julie Martin's head that the limbs had eaten her dog.
Oh, that's probably why I was thinking Korean, isn't it? Yeah, that was not a cool storyline.
That was not cool.
They've definitely had some making up to do, and I think to some extent this is maybe a bit of that.
Yeah, I think it's done very tastefully.
Do you think it's not? I think there's always the slight concern that it's a bit tokenistic.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, absolutely. It's definitely one to watch. I am hopeful that it'll be good.
I hope so.
Yeah, and at least it's a positive, actually talking about issues, which has got to be important.
That's what Neighbours does best.
It does.
Everybody talks about their issues, even when they don't need to be talked about. But
we are both, I think, loving Andrew at the moment.
Yes, we do.
Isn't it funny that how much we didn't love the Rodwells before the break, and now I really like the Rodwells. You're not convinced yet?
No, I like the Rodwells. I still wish that Levi was there. But
yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Levi, come back.
And Roxy and Kyle, can they come back too?
That would be nice.
And anyone else you'd like to come back at the moment? I mean, Lance, obviously, for you would always...
But then Amy would have to come back as well, which is cool.
Yeah, my mum really doesn't like Amy, I'm afraid.
I historically really didn't like Amy.
I love Amy.
But when she came back for her last stint, she warmed. I warmed to her.
Good. Yeah. I'm glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's move on now. Oh, yeah, while we're on the topic of Andrew, can I just point out something that he said this week? I think it was this week. That just slipped through, and I'm like, please don't let this become a thing. He referred to Erinsborough High as E-High.
I don't remember this, and I think I have to watch it back.
I swear it happened. I think it was to do with JJ going back to school or something. But yeah, and I was like, oh, let's not make this like, what was it Jimmy used to call Paul?
Oh, G-Dad.
G-Dad. Let's not have another G-Dad situation.
No, we don't want G-Dad. We don't want E-High.
No, that is not cool at all.
Erinsborough, yes. E-High, no.
No. And Buddy for Aaron, no.
Yeah.
But that was very funny. Did you ever see that video? I can't remember who made it. One of you wonderful people made it. And patched together all of the occasions where he'd said, buddy. Absolutely brilliant. Whoever, I can't remember who it was, but whichever one of you it was, you get a gold star from me for that one.
Thank goodness Isla's a girl, because otherwise in a few years' time he'd be calling her buddy.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he might still. Or he might just have a different name for her.
Maybe. Budette.
And talking of young people, shall we talk about the love triangle? JJ, Dex and Nell?
Oh...
How are we feeling about this at the moment?
I think they should just get over themselves.
I do like the fact that Nell took them to task a bit and was just like, she wasn't pleased that they were fighting over her.
Yeah, Nell handled it very well. I'm very impressed with how Nell has handled the whole thing. She's been very straight and upfront with them. She wanted to know what's going on. The other two were acting like weird teenage boys, which they are.
I do feel a bit for JJ in this situation because I think he has tried to do the right thing by Dex.
He has.
He's been an idiot, but he should have just said to Dex, oh no, I also like her, but if you want to go for it, by all means do, or something.
Yeah, his heart's in the right place, but he's a weird... awkward teenage boy. So
yeah, he is. And talking of, well, he's not a teenage boy really, but Byron, I still think of him as teenage, even though he's clearly in his he's done a law degree, then done his gigolo stuff,
and
then has been working at the hotel for several years now. So he's hardly a teenager, is he?
He's been around a bit.
How old do we think he is? Late 20s?
Probably.
And then Sadie's what, 19, 20?
Bearing in mind that you can get a law degree in about 2 years in Erinsborough.
What?
Oh,
true.
Well, Toadie got it through his law degree.
I mean, I feel like Mackenzie's took a bit longer.
Well, there was that 2-year gap where we didn't see anything, so...
Yes, I'm sure she did a lot of work at that point. And we'll come back to Mac and the law career a bit later. But yeah, let's talk the Leo and Byron spat.
So Leo decided that he didn't want to go into partnership with the Stones.
Yeah.
Leo decided not to go into partnership with the Stones. And he was going to bring on a silent partner instead,
But then he'd changed his mind.
He'd changed his mind several times. Then he said, no, I don't want you, even though you've really got your heart set on it, and you're my neighbours and my friends and family and blah, blah, blah. So, and then he brought Kiri on.
Yeah.
So it was all a bit...
I mean, it's a bit... He's not very decisive and sticking to his decisions, is he?
No. So, in the end... Byron took the opportunity.
Yep.
The guy who was going to take over
Yeah.
the investment was on the phone. Byron thought, oh, this is a way that I can protect my investment. Sorry, man, you're out.
Yeah, he's not interested. But
Which-
Krista overheard.
Yeah. And to be fair, if he'd waited another week, Leo probably would have changed his mind anyway.
12
So.
times. Yeah, and Krista then essentially told on Byron, and now Byron's out, and they've sent him away on holiday, which I don't quite understand, but he's obviously a way of releasing the actor to go and do something somewhere else.
He's gone to Queensland.
Has he really though, or has he gone to be in a Netflix TV show or something?
Possibly. But he's in the story. He's gone to Queensland to spend time with Jane and Scott and Charlene.
Which is nice,
That's
isn't
lovely.
it? Yeah. Of course, Nicolette and Kiri back together.
It's nice.
It is nice.
They're very cute together.
Can I just say that one of my favourite things that's the Nicolette and Kiri thing is how jealous was she at the fact that Remy and Cara had become friends with Kiri.
Yeah. I love this new Nicolette. She is amazing.
I loved the old one too, but this, she's really coming into herself now as an actress, isn't she, in terms of the character. I'm loving, they've kind of just really got the writing and her acting just spot on now. They've merged the two brilliantly.
Yeah, they know what she can do with her role, and they're just running with it, and it's great.
And that jealousy, and then the awkwardness of their double date thing, where she was like, oh, can we be like lesbian mums together? It was gloriously awkward and very, very relatable.
Yeah. I can see that she is related to Mrs. Mangle.
Yes.
I think her ridiculous jealousy and flip-flopping is quite Mangle-ish.
She's not as spiteful as
Nell
Mangle used to be.
If you took away the spite...
I mean, Nell wasn't always spite. She was often because she was hurt, but then did something spiteful.
She did love Bouncer.
Yeah. And some of her family.
Yeah. Jane.
Yeah. And her husband that we never saw.
Yeah.
I love those characters you never see. Honger, obviously, the best ever.
Honger was great.
I also liked, what was the babysitter down the road?
Kirkwood.
Mrs. Kirkwood. I loved Mrs. Kirkwood that you never saw but looked after every child on Ramsay Street for about 15 years.
I wonder if she's still alive.
I hope so. I hope she's... Oh, maybe she'll be at Irene Rising.
Oh, that would be great. Yes.
Do that, writers.
Yes.
Let's
get
Yes.
Mrs. Kirkwood into Irene Rising,
That
please.
would be fantastic.
That would be good for the merging with the school as well.
Yes.
Because all the youngsters who she brought up will be in the school next to her.
Well, no, they'll probably be teenagers. Be teachers by now, most of those
Or
ones.
parents.
Yeah, exactly. talking of the slightly older, more mature members of the cast, Vera.
Yes.
Loving seeing Vera more, although we haven't seen her for the last couple of weeks. But I really want to see, you know, Mac and she did that deal.
Yes.
Where they've like negotiated how many times she's allowed to come around, and Mac added in that she could come to dinner with them every month or 2 weeks or whatever it was she agreed. I want to see those meals. I want to see the awkward Sunday lunch or whatever it is that they've agreed to with Vera, because I just think that would be my favourite episode. You could have a whole episode. Like, do you know when they do those special episodes where it's only like 2 characters or something?
Yes.
They could have an episode just with Vera around the table with the housemates.
That would be amazing.
Like, it could be a murder mystery, it could be anything, but it would be a great episode.
I think Curtis needs to come round as well.
Oh yes, because of course he's a grandson.
Yeah.
And I keep forgetting that.
Or nephew or something.
Nephew. Great nephew.
I don't know.
She's related.
Yes.
I want to know also what happened to the fruit and veg man.
Santos.
Santos.
Was that his name?
Yeah, who previous life was D'Amato.
Yeah, Dennis D'Amato.
Yeah, or Mr. Tomato, as I always wanted to call him.
Tomato.
Yeah, what happened? Because he and Vera seemed to hit it off, and it was going so well with them.
I don't know. Maybe he'll come back.
Ah, that would be nice. I'd like that. I'd like Vera to be happy.
Yeah, she deserves happiness.
Yeah.
And she'd be nicer to everybody else.
Exactly. Right. Next person who's having a bit of a nightmare at the moment. Toadie is having a major existential crisis.
Toadie is going through some stuff.
So, firstly, there was the sunroom.
The sunroom collapsed.
Yeah.
Then he insisted on helping Cara.
Yeah, even though Cara is an expert in building.
She's a professional construction worker.
He's like, I'll be away from the law office to help you, professional builder. Not just, I'll just throw you some money to do the job.
Yeah, he wanted to be invested emotionally.
Also,
into this.
if you buy a house and a bit like that falls down, I don't really see why the people who used to own the house should be offering you money or help, because you've bought the house in that condition.
Yes.
So it's your own problem, isn't it?
If he wasn't living 2 doors down,
Yeah,
they
I guess.
wouldn't be on the phone to him saying, by the way, your sunroom that your brother built for you outside has collapsed.
Ah, it was nice that Shane's invention got a mention, though, just through that. And Toadie had a bit of a meltdown whilst listening to some 90s music or something.
Yeah. Which, happens.
I mean, to the best of us. It reminded him of Sonia. And then he's been staring at Sonia's mural and the nursery he won't let go. And then he keeps mentioning Dee.
Yeah.
Or there was a postcard from Dee or something, wasn't there?
Yeah, Dee got in touch to tell him how fabulous her life is.
I'm presuming this is all leading up to his leaving, because we know obviously that Toadie is leaving.
Yes.
So what is your guess at the moment? And this is purely speculative. This is not a spoiler in any way, because we don't believe in those.
No.
But what do we think?
I don't know.
Is he gonna go off to reunite with Dee? Is he gonna...
I think he just needs to get out of Ramsay Street. I think there's too many things reminding him.
Do you think he's going to be able to just leave, or are they going to kill him off?
I don't think they're going to kill him off.
I hope not.
He's going to be just round the back of the cameras. So
this is
it
true.
would
I
be
keep forgetting.
stupid for him to be killed off.
I keep forgetting that Ryan Maloney is actually going to go and work behind the cameras instead.
Yeah.
After he's done his tour, which I'm getting very excited about as well.
Only a few months.
Yeah. It's suddenly not that far ahead, whereas it seemed like forever ahead. So he's got all these issues going on. And he's not telling Therese, which is the key thing. So they've had this big thing, all their relationship. Oh, but the great thing is we're honest. Then they had a big spat because they weren't being honest, and it nearly fell apart. Now they've got back together. They've said, yeah, we're never not going to tell each other. And then immediately he's not telling her.
He's not telling her. Yeah. I honestly couldn't guess what's going to happen.
It's not going to end well, though, is it?
No. Obviously, Toadie's going to leave.
Yeah.
At some point.
I feel for Therese. I mean, she chooses badly often. Well, no, that's not true. She and Brad lasted a long time, but then he did the dirty.
Yes.
Then she just married the wrong person, really, with Paul, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
They should have just kept that as a business relationship, really.
I think she needs to cast the net further than Ramsay Street.
Do you think so?
I think that's her problem. I think maybe she needs to get on to Plenty of Fish.
Yeah.
Or Hinge.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I'm sure they had one on Neighbours at one point. Somebody was on a dating app or something, and they had a name for it.
I forget.
I love all the alternative names for things. We've got
the search engine.
What's the search engine called?
The search engine.
Oh, it's called the search engine.
And it had a little train.
Yes, I remember the train, but it looked very like Google.
Yes.
And then we had Lyra, that was like an Alexa or Siri.
They had a Facebook equivalent called Blah Blah.
Brilliant.
And if you can say that in an Aussie accent,
blah blah.
There you go.
That's sorry, Australian people.
That was my favourite, Blah Blah.
Yeah.
And it was in the brush script font.
Of course it was.
Well.
Of course it was. If you can remember any others of those sorts of things where they've had an alternative to a product, I would love to hear them. I like it when they have all the fake TV shows that they're all really into as well.
What's this one now, the Swedish one?
They keep talking
Google
about
whatever.
I can't remember what it's called.
Google Hyman or something like that.
Yeah, I like it. And there was the trashy reality one that they were all into, which was like Love Upside Down or something weird.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that one was.
Do you remember when Libby won a date to go on a date with Raoul from some kind of I forget what it was. It was a soap opera, I think.
Fantastic. Also, do you remember that the Cannings went on Family Fortune or whatever? They don't call it Family Fortune. Family Feud. That was amazing as well. That was such a random thing to have done. I love those things.
Yeah, kept it in the Grundy family. That.
Okay, that's good. Cross promotion.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, back to recent things, and we have to talk about Susan, Carl, and the cabbage flowered hat.
It was. I'm glad that Susan and Carl. Well, they didn't really get it on, did they?
No, but they did later.
Yes. So I'm glad that their sex life is back.
Yeah.
On track.
Moira is probably traumatised for life.
Moira will probably now burn that hat after she's spent so long trying to find it.
Yes, absolutely.
Poor Moira. It's her favourite hat.
It was her favourite hat. She loved that hat that we'd never seen before. But yeah, I'm enjoying the random other people that live at Irene Rising that keep popping in. We haven't seen Hilary again. We've heard about Hilary. We haven't seen her for a while.
Yeah, she needs to come in and tell Therese how disgusted she is at
everything.
Especially the hat incident.
Yeah. Now, Harold obviously is in Irene Rising. As far as I can tell, he is the only man at Irene Rising.
Yes.
So presumably all the women are going to be trying to snare him.
Obviously.
Who's going to win? Will it be Moira? Will it be Hilary? Will it be the awful woman who was blackmailing Carl?
Oh, tell us your thoughts.
Yeah. Is it going to be another one? There'll be somebody. Somebody will turn up and be a romance. Surely.
I think... maybe Mishka could come back.
Who was Mishka?
Mishka was a Russian lady who went out with Lou for a while.
Right.
And they...
I love your brain. How do you remember this stuff?
They made vodka,
Of course they did.
and Harold found out and tried to shut it down because they were making illegal vodka.
Well, surely Harold can't end up with her then.
Yeah. And my favourite line from Neighbours of all time.
Wow, here it
was,
comes, people.
In
Drum roll.
Russian, I don't know it in Russian.
Yep.
But it had the subtitles on, so you could understand it.
Okay.
It was Russian for "My diarrhea strike you down," when Harold was trying to shut down the vodka empire.
Well, she does not sound like the sort of lady who deserves Harold.
She was amazing.
Talking of a couple that are not amazing, Tess and I can't remember his name, but Creepy Car Man.
It doesn't matter what his name is.
So Tess is back to cause Krista all kinds of problems. Are they trying to undervalue the what aNUDder is worth so they can buy it from under them or something? Is that what they're planning to do? I'm a bit confused what the actual skullduggery is.
I don't think they want aNUDDers. I think they just want to embezzle money.
Oh, they're embezzling the money.
I think
you
so.
think?
Because I think she's left the...
She's been ceremoniously thrown out of the company, clearly.
Well, either she's left or whatever.
She and Reese have fallen out.
Whatever
left,
happened.
and she's gone.
And I think they just want money. So they're trying to get Krista to give them money. But
Right.
I think. I don't
I'm
know.
very confused by it. But they have got a nice house
They have a beautiful house.
that they're presumably renting because creepy guy wanted to buy a house in Maui.
Yeah.
And is getting a bit ahead of himself. It's an odd pairing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's much actual love there. There
No.
might be some passion.
There might be, yeah. And there's definitely some wanting the money.
Yeah, I think that's more to do with it.
Yeah, probably. So Holly obviously is walking into this as well because she's been partying non-stop. Everyone's very worried about party girl Holly.
Yeah, they had a bit of an intervention because...
Poor Holly had just been going out quite a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, there is probably some truth in the fact that she is dealing with her trauma from the kidnap by going out a lot, but also all her mates are in couples.
Yes, and they don't want to spend any time with her.
And she is young and beautiful and she enjoys going out.
Yeah, she enjoys going out anyway.
Yeah.
And then suddenly all her friends have become boring coupley people
Yes.
who don't want to go out.
I mean, you do need to remember she is half the DNA of Izzy.
Yeah.
So the girl likes to have a wild side, really. So good for her. But she is getting involved in with Creep Guy as well.
Yes. Yeah. So she thinks that she's doing Krista a favour by finding out what their deal is.
Yes. And maybe she will.
Maybe she will.
Because she's pretty much a detective now.
She is the best detective.
Oh, hang on a minute. She is a good detective, we know. But we have to just very briefly sidetrack Melanie and Remy.
They are also very good detectives.
A lot of good detectives in the street. I would like to see... it brings me back. I want more... I want a murder mystery in the street. Please let me write that. I think that would be great. Anyway, I've gone stepped aside again. Back to the Creep and Holly.
Yes.
Do we think... So I think she's going to uncover the truth and tell Krista, and Krista will manage to save the day.
Hopefully. I mean, Krista owes her one from Holly saving her from the crack den that she was in.
Yes, that is true. That is true. But equally, she has given Holly a lot of extra chances when anyone else would have got sacked.
Holly was just being a good friend.
Many times. Shall we talk about Mac whilst we're on the topic of the young'uns?
Yes.
So she's had a job offer, but she's sticking with Toadie.
Yes, she's very loyal.
Do you think that's foolish?
I think so.
I mean, do you remember when Toadie went and worked for a big city law company?
Yeah.
And he didn't like it at all, did he?
Yeah. and then he came back.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah. But I
think it would have been good for Mac to get the experience. She obviously liked doing the criminal case.
Yeah, him and Mac are two very different people.
Yeah.
I feel like Mac is more go-get-ish than Toadie is.
I mean, wouldn't it be good if, when Toadie goes, Mac takes over the office? Obviously, it becomes her business.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, Byron can suddenly go, do you know what? I said I really hated law. Suddenly, Mac and Byron's law company.
Well, Leo doesn't want him as a actual
no, exactly.
part of
just
the
a silent
vineyard.
partner.
Yeah.
What is Mackenzie's last name? Mackenzie
Hargreaves.
So Hargreaves and Stone and Hargreaves Law Company. Yeah, I think it could work.
Yeah.
I could only think of Mackenzie Crook then, who's the chap that
Different
was
person.
in The Office and Pirates of the Caribbean. Quite different. And he was Mama Bear.
Yeah, he's getting very protective over his girlfriend, who is clearly very capable of looking after herself.
Yeah, he had quite a tone with Toadie, although Toadie totally missed it.
Yeah, Toadie's away with whatever he's dealing with right now. He's not getting any hints.
But Teray's got it.
Yeah.
We also need to briefly touch on another recent cast member who has been quite glorious in their ineptitude. Brett.
Yeah. Brett is the worst employee, acting manager that Lassiter's or anywhere else has ever known.
I mean, and there's been quite a few bad ones over the years, but he's way up there, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's up there with Chelsea.
Yes. Chelsea was vicious with it, though, whereas he's just a bit useless.
He's very useless.
And would prefer to be on the golf course. Yeah, he's not going to get a great review after this, is he? Not going to get a great reference.
I don't think so.
He's been very funny.
Can be doctored.
He's been fun though. I've enjoyed Brett and his, and I like the fact it's still going on. They're still finding, this conference is clashing because he's booked two in for the same day again.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, the Erinsborough experience or whatever it's called was only booked in a few days ago. It's highly possible that booking that Brett took was in before it, surely.
Yeah, and if they've just sacked him, you'd think they would go through the calendar methodically.
Especially as he'd already messed up on a couple of other things like that.
Go through the calendar methodically to find out where he's made these huge errors and fix it sooner rather than, this is happening next week.
Yeah, and I get the feeling that Holly is the only one actually doing that, which comes to something when Holly is.
Thank goodness for Holly.
She is being brilliant at the moment. One more set of people we just quickly need to talk about, and that is the sad Jane and Mike breakup.
Yeah, I feel like we need the sad instrumental music for this.
Yeah, just a little bit of violin music coming in now. I mean, it was inevitable.
Yes.
Obviously, Guy Pearce wasn't going to come back and be a regular cast member.
Yes.
And I love that he's given so much of his time to the role post the end.
Yeah, it felt like he really wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah. I am slightly cross with Mike that it wasn't just that he was like, oh yeah, I also think we're clearly not meant to be because we haven't been together, but he's actually found somebody else.
Well,
outrageous.
If you watch all the past Neighbours, which I have been doing recently.
Oh, yeah.
He did a lot of that.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
I know we always talk about him being them being the golden couple, but no.
So he went off to Sydney on a swimming thing with Scott. He shacked up with someone there. He then went off to somewhere else, shacked up with someone there. He ran over a woman on his motorbike.
What?
And then, out of pity, proposed to her.
It's like Stefan Ringo all
Yeah.
over again. Or
So,
beforehand.
yeah.
Well,
But
yeah, he wasn't such a golden boy then, was he? No.
He's quite... He's got form.
But he always seemed so nice, and they seemed so nice together.
Yeah.
I have to say, though, Clive would never have treated her like that.
No, bring back Clive.
We love Clive, and I'm still heartbroken and angry about what they did to his character at the end. I understand why, because it was Mike. But, yeah, poor Clive.
We want Dr. Gibbons back,
Yay!
please.
Now, very last thing. Well, two things. First of all, we asked your help previously to name your van.
Yes.
What name did you go with?
My van is called
Yeah.
Mr. Udagawa.
Yay! Love it. So,
And it's been very sunny here recently, and I've been on many adventures in Mr. Udagawa.
so you're sleeping in Mr. Udagawa.
Yes.
As well as driving in
Yes.
Mr. Udagawa. Fantastic. I hope you bow to him every time you see him.
Every time.
Fantastic. This is joyous news. One other joyous bit of news I saw this week was there was a swimmer whose surname was Ramsey on the
Amazing.
Olympics. And I was
it
like,
Shane?
It wasn't Shane. No,
Oh.
it must be another member of the family.
Oh.
But that pleased me greatly. And I wondered just how many other people had the same thought.
Was it Ramsey with an A or Ramsey with an E?
They just mentioned them. They didn't. I didn't see it written down.
Okay.
I would have to check that one, but it still pleased me. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
This has been quite a long one, but it was 2 episodes in one. So you should have a bit of a break from us for a couple of weeks, but we'll be back if you let us. Please do tell everybody about our podcast. If you liked it, if you didn't, just keep it to yourself.
There are other podcasts available.
Exactly. Also, we'd love to have some of you on board. Once we work out the technology, we will be having a guest join us from the aNUDder community. And yeah, share, follow, whatever you feel the need to do. Fiona is currently being licked to pieces by my dog.
Yes.
Who has clearly decided that this is the end of the podcast and therefore it's his turn to get some attention.
Yes. He's been very good up
He has
until
been
now.
very good. It's past his tea time as well.
Oh.
Right, on that note, we better go. We will see you in a couple of weeks, but from now, enjoy the sunshine.
Take care, unless you're in Melbourne, in which case it's probably really horrible and cold right now.
That's a cheery thought to end on. Bye!
Bye!